I think most of you will be surprised to hear how simple the reason could be why you aren't booking enough jobs as a filmmaker or why you aren't cashing the revenue that you would like to. And why you should be listening to me is because I have my own filmmaking business, and for the past 3 years I've been making 6 figures with it, working with clients like Corona, DJI, the Olympics, and I think I might just have something to tell you that is going to help you on your journey. This video is sponsored by artists, but I'll tell you a little bit more about them later. I want to walk you through 4 different problem areas where you might be experiencing issues, so that we try and demystify together where that, initial issue in your business is stemming from that is of course leading to you not booking enough jobs. Now, issue number 1, and the most simplest to solve out of all of them, is quality. Is the work that you're producing actually good enough? And I'm not saying that in order to make you feel bad, but you really have to have a clear and honest perception of the work that you're producing. Now, I'm not saying that you compare it to Christopher Nolan's work now, but comparing it to people within your circle or within the people on social media creating similar work, how does it compare? Be honest with yourself. Is it really shitty, or is it actually pretty close? Now, honestly, if you're experiencing this issue, you're in luck, because this is the easiest problems to solve. You just need more practice and experience, and I'm not talking specifically about client projects. You have your camera, just go out and shoot a little concept here and there. Find the time to refine your craft a little bit. I'm a big believer of passion projects and spec work, and when I started out, I was, burning to go out and film something. I would work for free, I would create my own concepts and go out and execute them with friends. So I suggest that you do the same thing. I know that life is also happening and there are a lot of things that you need to tend to and need your attention. But if you can take a few hours per week or a day every month to shoot something little, I promise you that with time, this is really going to impact your work as a whole. Now, you might be saying, Aya, my work is actually great, but I'm still trying to bridge the gap with the business side of things. Okay, I got you. And here comes issue number 2, which is whether you're providing a service or a result. Now, the difference between those two things is literally from here to the moon. Someone who is providing a service is only talking in deliverables. They're saying, I'm going to give you 1 video, 1 edit, 20 photos, for example. And basically, in the result of that, the client is saying, oh good, thank you. You're getting a paycheck, and that's it. But someone who is actually providing a result might get a response from the client saying, damn, this actually changed my whole business. And this here is your difference. You should be positioning yourself as a strategic partner and not only as a person with a camera. Now, how you achieve that is actually caring about the result and having a deeper understanding of what exactly the goal of your client is with this video specifically that you're making for them. When you're hopping on the discovery call with them, are you doing the talking, or are you letting them talk and asking them very specific questions that are going to show them a deeper understanding of the matter? Now, if you want to be booking high-value clients, you have to be speaking their language. So you have to understand in which bucket your content is going to fall. Is it simply going to be for brand awareness? Is it going to be telling their origin story? Is the point of the content to sell a specific product? What is the return that your client is expecting with this specific piece of content? Alright, after the discovery call, let's say you have all of this information, you execute on the project, and it turns out great, but this is where you stop. You deliver it and you move on. This is another mistake that I really advise you to avoid, because I used to do that as well in the beginning. I mean, I didn't know better. I thought that this is the only thing that is desired from me. But you have to take it a step further, and you actually have to ask the client, once you give them those contents, what are the results that they actually achieved? What is the ROI? What is the return of their investment? And for example, if you're making some short form content, maybe it's ads, I don't know exactly what you're working on, but there are specific metrics that you can ask your clients to track and then tell you. And from there on, you can actually go deeper and develop a full-on strategy for them, and you can become their long-term strategic partner. Because if you're only taking one-off gigs, the chances of you not particularly being a fit with that client and vice versa are higher than you only working with a few clients with whom you have a pretty solid relationship established already. Feels, much better for both sides. I just don't want you to make the same mistakes that I did when I was starting out. Because back then I was looking at every project and every client as a singular event. I didn't even begin to think that all of those individual projects could lead to more work in the long term. Now, by the way, shameless plug, I do have a free email training for filmmakers looking to build out the business side of things. So if you want to sign up for that, the link is going to be in the description. Now, moving on to issue number 3, which is going to be your outreach. Are you pitching? Are you sending cold emails? What is your lead generation? We are going to be debunking that problem, but before that, I really want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is Artlist. They recently released a tool that can actually help you in the pitching stage and then also later in the pre-production stage to visualize your ideas better. It's a generative image and video AI tool. You just have to describe what's on your mind and the software is going to generate an image. But the game changer here is that you can actually choose the style of your desired image. And let me tell you that my favorite is the storyboard style. Now, don't laugh at me when I tell you that in the beginning I was drawing stickmen, and I honestly believe that sending those to the client was the brightest idea that I ever had. And how do you picture me taking multiple 5-figure budget projects with a storyboard of stickmen? This just doesn't work that way. And now I can just go on Artlist and it generates an image for me within moments. I can then go on and animate that specific image, either illustrative or realistic, whatever serves the purpose best. And then I can actually show that to a client. I'm really a big fan of that feature, and the best thing honestly that it already lives within a platform that I use daily, so I can only recommend it. I'm going to use my link in the description below. I do earn a small commission if you decide to sign up through it, but this is how you keep the channel growing, so thank you very much. Now, we were talking about pitching, and I must tell you that on a weekly basis I get about 10 emails from different creators who want to work at my company or with me in any way. And I notice the same things, and honestly the same mistakes that I was also making when I was starting out. Those emails, first of all, are most of the time very long. They're like novels, and people tend to say their whole life story, their biography, and only talk about themselves, what they did, what they created, and of course my favorite sentence, I want to work with you. And this is the biggest mistake, because this is not the right way to cold pitch. Like, this is not the right way to outreach to any person or brand that you want to work with. You have to think how you can provide value. And I don't want to sound like everyone else, on YouTube or social media saying, oh, give value, because value is such a big word and you have to be, I think, more specific than that. So I'm going to do my best to explain what you need to do. Basically, whatever you're picking a brand or a company or a certain individual that you want to work with, I want you to spend some time analyzing what they're actually doing. What is their work actually about? And how you and your proficiency, where is your expertise, how you can help them. Like, show them what they're doing wrong. If they're posting, reels on Instagram and they look like shit, can you make it better? Maybe it's with a few text animations. Maybe their storytelling needs improving. Maybe the content that they're posting is only focused on generating more sales instead of actually telling their origin story. I think that you can see those gaps if you have a clear understanding of the type of content that makes a brand. And normally that content is growth content, is nurture content, and is sales content. So kind of in those 3 buckets, if you can analyze what is what their weak spot is, and if that is actually something that you're good at, then it's a match and you have to show it to them. Don't be afraid to give free value. And here I don't mean working for free forever, but I've actually taken, quite a few gigs where I've started off for free. And then when the client has seen that actually, I am knowledgeable and I'm learning and they can actually, rely on me, this is when we've had the conversation, okay, maybe, this is something that we want to talk about that can actually become a longer term partnership. Now, if you're a bit more advanced and you already know of that, but you want to start working with bigger names, bigger brands, I do have a tip for you as well. But I do gotta tell you that it takes time. Like, there is just no shortcut to this. There is just no one's gonna come knocking at your door tomorrow. Maybe, I don't know, maybe they will if you're lucky. But look, you gotta just spend a bit more time analyzing the brand. Let's say it's some big beverage brand. Start analyzing them. Go on LinkedIn and actually start seeing, where their marketing's at. Are they working with a specific agency? Who are the key people in that brand who are the decision makers? You'd be surprised how many marketing specialists within brands share the success of their own campaigns on LinkedIn. You really have to be strategic about it. You can find those posts, you can start connecting with those people, you can then later find them on Instagram as well. And from there on, you can build like a personal connection first, positioning yourself as a brand expert who can help them in a certain area, and from there on actually, work on a campaign with them. The whole point of this though is that it takes time, and the difference is that not many people were willing to put in that time when they're facing an uncertainty in the result. It's not for sure that if you put in that work, you're actually going to get that project and land that brand, but you might just do it. So it's up to you, I myself, I worked with all of those brands that I mentioned in the beginning because I pitched to them first. They didn't find me themselves. I did, and I created that connection. And from there on, it was just a matter of nurturing and patience on my end and giving value, giving ideas so that I can actually work on an actual project with them. And the final problem that I want to talk about is, are you actually a fun person to be around with? As a producer and director in my own company, I've had many projects for which I've hired crew to help me execute the specific vision. While I think I have a pretty good sense of who I'm going to like working with, who is proactive and so on and so forth, I'd still hit a wall with a few people here and there that I just wouldn't like to work together again for a few reasons. Now, issue number one is how you're approaching a job. I really hate hopping on an initial call with the person that I'm waiting to hire and them starting with the question, so what's exactly the budget? So how many hours exactly are you expecting me to be there? So I actually have this gear, but you're going to have to pay for it. This is like the rental fee. Look, everyone is trying to make money. Of course, that's a big motivation, but I want to see a passion for the art that we are going to be creating together. And this is not a topic of, someone using people and taking, advantage of someone. But the thing is that when you lead a conversation with that, I'm like, why the heck should I bother, actually explaining what the project is going to be about if they don't show any interest about it at all? What I love is people who hop on a call and they're like, let's do this. Tell me what you need from me in order to lift off some pressure of your shoulders and help you out. This is the energy I want. And this is what actually makes a project happen. Also, when you're on set, please turn off your phone. If you're a smoker, please don't cause discomfort to other crew members. Like I, for example, I always, when I'm on set, I tell my crew, look, I hate cigarettes, I hate smoke. Please restrict from smoking or just go outside. And when I see someone doing that despite what I've said with me as a team leader, I'm like, no, this is not the kind of person that I want to work with. It just causes me to think about someone else and focusing on issues that I don't want to be solving throughout that day, rather on focusing on the project and, actually bringing a result with this project to the client that is trusting me. I like working with people who are proactive, who respect the vision of the director and are there to help out. They're there to make this happen. They make me feel good, they make me feel seen, they make me feel trusted, and everything is then running smoothly. So honestly, those are going to be my few tips. I can probably stay here and talk until forever, but I feel like if you nail those down, if you work to refine all of those different categories that we talked about, your work is going to be exponentially better and you're going to feel way more confident in what you're doing. I really hope this video helps. Please subscribe, comment for more. Also check me out on Instagram, sign up for the email training, check out Artlist, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.